Hello, this Pecha Kucha is going to be about gamification and game-based learning. Games are wonderful tools in the classroom and can introduce goals, feedback, problem-solving, interaction, competition, narrative, and fun learning environments. These are elements that can increase learner engagement and sustain motivation. Gamification is the integration of game elements like point systems, leaderboards, badges, or other elements that increase engagement and motivation. It applies game elements to existing learning activities. In an ideal learning environment, if using a badge system, students will be able to see the badges that their peers have earned to create a sense of competition. Game-based learning involves designing learning activities so that game characteristics and game principles adhere with learning activities themselves. For example, in a political science course, students might role play as they engage in mock negotiations involving a labor dispute. These learning activities are intrinsically game-like. Most games feature elements such as interaction, goals, feedback, rules, competition, story, problem solving, and fun. Not all these elements are needed to successfully gamify a learning activity, but carefully selecting elements that will help meet the learning objectives of the class can be very useful. Game points or experience systems reward students for completing various tasks, assignments, or assessments. Game or experience points can introduce some useful affordances to learning environments, including limitless points, flexible goals, student choice, and tracking. So why use limitless points? Whereas traditional grading schemes collect artifacts or learning which accumulate to 100% of a course's grade, points or experience systems accumulate points with no fixed end in sight. This could be beneficial in a learning environment. How do flexible goals work, you may ask? Well, students are presented with a wealth of possibilities to earn points, and instructors can structure the course so that they either accumulate as many as they want or they complete a certain number of tasks to reach a desired point total. How could you use student choice? Well, choice is crucial to the success of a point-based system. For example, students might be able to earn points by focusing on reflection activities or by opting to complete a number of tests or any other activity relevant to the course. What can tracking be used for in the classroom? Well, you can track points by using an app with points instead of percentages, or Google Drive to share the results with the entire class. Tracking is important to the success of game-based learning. Badges were mentioned in a previous slide. So badges are a digital way to acknowledge student work. For example, students might receive a badge if they achieve certain levels of success on assignments, or if they do additional work, such as submitting a draft or sharing notes with other students. Competition can motivate students and can be leveraged by leaderboards that showcase the distribution of point totals that students have accumulated through various learning activities. However, caution must be taken when constructing leaderboards because displaying all students in order of point totals can make some students very uncomfortable. One online strategy is discussion boards. So students may be incentivized to discuss readings before or immediately after class by making them optional but allotting experience points for each post or reply to another post. Points earned could go towards prizes or additional classroom responsibilities. The second online strategy is quizzes. So rather than presenting a set of seemingly unrelated questions, consider creating an interactive narrative or quest that draws learners in. Each question leads to the next and may build upon previous answers, all the while being a part of a larger narrative that keeps the learner engaged. You may even include hints that the learner can choose to use or not. An in-class strategy that can be used is Jeopardy! So creating a Jeopardy!-style game for review of chapters or in preparation for a midterm can provide enjoyment and interaction with others in a familiar game structure. This can be created using PowerPoint or even using a free Jeopardy! Game creator. Another in-class strategy that can be used are classroom response systems. So gathering a response from an entire class can be difficult, but doing so with classroom response systems like Kahoot or Top Hat can encourage participation through game elements like points and competition between individuals. So, as for game based learning environments, these include any game designed for educational purposes, such as Quiz Up or Trivia Crack. As an instructor, you can make learners aware of these educational games, but the game itself acts as the educator. So, what are game enhanced learning environments? So, these environments employ commercially available games that are designed with entertainment in mind. Examples include World of Warcraft or Second Life, which are great for immersing language learners in another language, or even SimCity, which can help people understand economic principles. Incorporating games into your teaching doesn't require a monumental shift in your teaching. Many activities that you already use likely contain some game elements that were previously listed. These games should be thoughtfully integrated into a course. Some gamification and game-based learning tools include Duolingo, Minecraft, Brainscape, Top Hat, Kahoot, and Second Life. Games that we got to experience in our ICT class are Bloxels and Dash Robots. Dash Robots can be controlled using iPads and can be used to play games like soccer. Bloxels are a platform for creating video games in the classroom. This allows students to be creative and makes them artists as well as designers of their own unique interactive games. This marks the end of my ICT Pecha Kucha on game-based learning and gamification. This is the resource that I used. Thank you so much for listening.